You know, Satan has no problem with people coming to church every week. He's not afraid of that. He's afraid of you coming to church and actually getting the right theology about God. Because once you understand who God really is, then you become dangerous to Satan. But if you keep believing these subtle lies over and over again, it's not a threat to him. They attack and corrupt people's minds first. They don't try to get people to say, hey, go murder a bunch of people. Go commit genocide. But they will get a bunch of people to genocide with bad theology and thinking. Have you guys noticed that in history? What was the thing that caused the genocide of the Jews? It was a theology of white supremacy saying we are the superior race, the Jewish are the inferior, we can then do that. Right? If you look at all the big injustices and genocide, it comes from a belief system. Who do you think is perpetuating that belief system? And in fact, some of those belief systems are quoting the Bible historically. And so demons are very smart. They know you can't bring 100% of a lie to a person because you can sniff it out. So they'll do 90% of the Bible and 10% lie. 90% of the Bible, 10% lie. And they'll keep making you do subtle drifts until you get to this theology framework where you start viewing people as inferior. So what's the big deal if we start killing them? Oh, what's the big deal if we can, take over this land and take the money to build the biggest church in the world, St. Peter's Basilica? The ends justify the means. Well, if more people are going to be part of the church, why not? Let's just force people to be Christians and kill all the Muslims. What's wrong with that? You see that? 90% truth, 10% poison. It doesn't take a lot of poison to kill you. That's what one of my professors said. So Satan and demons are very smart. They're not going to be like, let's commit genocide, guys. But it's like, hey, you are so important. Your needs matter more than the needs of those people. And you're doing this for God. They don't worship God. They're pagans. They're going to hell anyways. So why not just speed up the process? You earned your money. So why do you have to worry about those other people? They haven't done it. You don't have to be generous. Yeah, do whatever you want with your money. I mean, didn't God tell Adam and Eve to enjoy the fruits of their labors? Didn't Paul say a man is worthy of his wages? They could quote the Bible right to you to justify yourself. Family's number one. Didn't God say kids are a blessing? So whatever your kid desires, you should let that direct all your decisions. Aren't you worse than an unbeliever? You can't provide for your household? So why don't you sacrifice everything for your career to, quote unquote, provide for your kids? They all sound pretty good, doesn't it? 90% truth, but there's a 10% subtle lie. The problem is if you don't have discernment, you're not going to see it. And you just keep eating the little poison over time, you just ruined your whole life. And you thought you're following God and His Word. That's the thing. And you start blaming God for the lies that He never said. But God, you said if I went to church, this would never happen to me. You said this, that my kids will never get sick. You said that my career will be booming. You said that if I went to home group every week, everything will work out. God never said that. That's legalism. God never said that. That's Satan. Who do you think created legalism, by the way? Do you see? We always talk about the false religions, like, I can't believe people bow down to statues to Buddha. I always think, I can't believe people go to church their whole life still believe in legalism. That's still coming from Satan, both of them. Anything that's a lie that deceives you is coming from Satan. That's one thing we got to understand about Satan demons. They get you through your thinking. 1 Timothy 4:1, now the Spirit expressly says that in later times, some will depart from the faith by devoting themselves to deceitful spirits and teachings of demon. We also see other things are cruel and hurtful. Whenever a person is demon-possessed, they start hurting their own bodies. So they're a destructive host, right? They hurt the host that they're in. Remember when the demons were cast into a bunch of the pigs, they just ran off and killed themselves? That's their nature. They like to destroy. Or as Jesus says, Satan comes to kill and destroy, but I came to give life and life abundantly, right? There's a contrast there. That's what Satan and his demons do. And also, they have a lot of power. We see that. For example, Acts 19, 7 sons of the Jewish high priest named Sceva were coming and they're trying to, get demons out of people. And remember that funny story? What did they say? Jesus I know, and Paul I recognize, but who are you? In other words, you don't have any power over me. Jesus, okay, I'll do that. Paul, because in the name of Jesus, I'll listen to him. You have no power. And then what did they do? They jumped on him and they ran away naked, right? That's what happened to the 7 sons. Because they thought, if I could just use the name of Jesus for my own benefit, then demons are going to start listening to me. By the way, the 7 sons of Sceva, they did it in the name of Jesus. But the demons could see through them. It's like, I know you're saying this in the name of Jesus, but you're doing it for your own benefit. We're not going to listen to you. And they attacked them. So let's talk about what do demons do then. Main thing that they do is they advance Satan's purposes because Satan is the chief demon amongst the demons. So whatever Satan wants them to do, they're going to do it for his purpose. Revelation 12:7, it says, now a war arose in heaven. Michael had his angels on one side, fighting against the dragon and his angel. The dragon refers to Satan. It's a cosmic battle that's going to happen at the end. Second thing they do, they promote idol worship. Leviticus 17:7, so they shall no more sacrifice their sacrifices to goat demons, after whom they whore. They shall be a statue forever for them throughout their generations. Psalm 106:37 talked about how the Israelites sacrificed their sons and daughters to the demons. Because do you know there's a period of time where the Israelites used to do child sacrifice? Why? Because the god of Molech said if you sacrifice one of your child, you will be guaranteed prosperity, blessings, and fertility. Kind of sound familiar, right? It's not like it's the same message. Give this, you'll get this in behind. And they just keep upping the cost. Well, it's not enough to give your money, give your child. And the Israelites used to do that. And then the psalmist is saying, you did that to demons. Demons are the ones that tricked you to think that sacrificing your child is a way to receive blessings. So here's the thing we got to understand. There is no power in idols themselves, right? We don't have to be afraid of looking at a statue at a Chinese restaurant. Oh, Buddha, let's smash them. There's no power in that statue. But we don't have to go down like tearing down the statues. We don't have to do that. There's no power in the statues. What's the power come in? It's in people's thinking and attributing value to that statue. There's no power in the dollar bill or a number in your bank account. That's neutral. There's nothing moral about a number in your bank account. But it's the power that number has on you that drives the desires of your heart. That's what we call idols. Is it making sense? Even if you destroyed all the statues in the world, even if you ripped up all the currency in the world, that doesn't change the fact that all of a sudden people are going to stop worshiping idols. People will continue to worship idols because it's the reflection of their natural desires. And that natural desires is something that is promoted by Satan and his demons. They have studied humankind very carefully. They know exactly what's going to get most people, and they know exactly what's going to get you, and they're going to pinpoint that weak point, and they're going to keep going to that. That's why I hate legalism. Because so many people I know are religious legalists that think they're safe with God when they're not. So many kids have been pushed to do all these things for God when they had no desire for God, and now they just walk away from God because of this unnecessary pushing for no reason. That's all based on false theology. Who do you think likes seeing this happen? Satan. You know, Satan has no problem people coming to church every week. He's not afraid of that. He's afraid of you coming to church and actually getting the right theology about God. Because once you understand who God really is, then you become dangerous to Satan. But if you keep believing these subtle lies over and over again, it's not a threat to him.